This weekend was a big weekend for the UFC. Fight Island happened this weekend, and I ain't gonna lie, I thought Max Holloway got robbed. I just want to start there.
Yeah, he absolutely. I was tweeting the whole time, just my thoughts as they were going on, and I was adamant. Man, Holloway looks great, but it was a great fight. So I was like, oh, we have to see part 3 because this fight's so good. And then what happened was my Wi-Fi, because I live in the middle of nowhere, my Wi-Fi cut out for the 5th round. And I was also going back and forth from the TV to the kitchen. So I missed the last round. But in my mind, I was like, all I wanted to know was if Holloway got knocked out and got caught in the 5th round, because the other guy's a big power puncher. So, because in my mind, as long as Holloway didn't get knocked out, he won the fight.
Yeah.
Because he dominated the fight. So I go back over there. I'm not able to rewind it for whatever reason. I was on ESPN Plus. It was weird. It's probably my Wi-Fi. I look it up on Google on my phone. Holloway loses via decision. Yeah. And I was livid. I couldn't.
Because you thought he had it in the bag.
Oh, yeah.
I did too.
Exactly. And then I was like, well, maybe I wasn't watching the 3rd and 4th round right, and then I missed the 5th round. But then Dana White afterwards was like, he got robbed. That was an awful decision.
Yeah, wow. I didn't get it. And that was really one of the first nights that one of the first nights I watched like almost the full main card of a UFC.
Me too.
A UFC fight. And it was cool. Like you said, the fight was good, but I just didn't get the Max. I don't get how he lost the fight. Like, and even on the cards, it seemed like everybody from Twitter to all of the commentators had it like 3-2 Max Holloway. And it looked like he was working them to me, like for the majority of the fight. Like it looked like he was working them. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where I'm like, is this a boxing thing now? We turn into boxing where people's getting robbed, you know what I'm saying, on the cards. Like, to me, that's not a UFC thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I didn't like that. But the Jose, the Usman fight was really dope. And I thought Usman worked him. I mean, people were saying that Usman was boring. They was calling him the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC. But Floyd Mayweather wins. So, you ain't going to trash Floyd to me. Period.
Floyd's undefeated.
Period. So... Facts. So I don't have a problem with Usman or how he fought. You know what I'm saying? JT, what was your take on the Usman situation?
That's how Usman fights. Jorge knew he was going to fight like that. Everyone knows he fights like that. That's his style. To me, it's not as boring, because a lot of guys get upset with straight wrestlers because they pin you up against the fence. They don't do a lot, and they try to get you down and do a little damage, but they'll do just enough to win. And Kamaru, I mean, some people don't like, he was stomping on his feet a lot. He was doing some of that stuff. But,
which was weird. I never saw somebody. I mean, he looked like it was a rat in a ring, and he was trying to kill this rat. Every fight, so they clinching, and every 5 minutes he's stomping his foot on. And I'm like,
it's a thing, but it's considered
it was weird.
It's considered even by wrestlers, by some guys, to not be a cool thing to do. But it's legal, and he kept doing it. It was obviously part of his strategy. Listen, he doesn't want Jorge on his feet. Right. He doesn't want Jorge. And that's the thing that impressed me about Masvidal, is that even when he'd get taken down, he pretty much got right up.
Yeah, he did. He was getting out of that.
Yeah,
because he knew on the mat was not his friend.
Well, but it's also once a guy like Kamaru Usman gets you down, you usually don't get up. Yeah. So the fact that he was getting up was very impressive.
Yeah, it was.
Isn't that the thing with it all, with all the fighting, is you have to have a defensive strategy as well. People think it's all offense, offense, but no, you got to play defense as well. Like two sides.
And the great philosopher coach said, you play to win the game, right? So all of this hate on people's tactics on, well, Floyd just wasn't sexy enough in the ring. Floyd won, period. You know what I'm saying? Usman has one loss, right?
He has a loss a long time ago.
I think he has one, though. Only one, right?
Only one.
So Usman also wins.
Well, I shouldn't say he's got one. I don't know, but I know he hasn't lost for.
Yeah, I think he only has one. I think he has one loss on his record.
Big win streak. Win streak.
I think he only has one loss on his record. But the point is, you play to win the game. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hate on especially those guys that maybe don't win sexy. They're tactical fighters.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I can respect you knowing your craft and being an expert in your craft and just really picking people apart. Floyd, you just couldn't hit Floyd, and it was a boring fight for somebody else. I love watching people swing.
Play to win.
Exactly.
A boring fight to me is when two guys are afraid to engage because one guy's really a counter striker, so the other guy doesn't want to. You know, like a lot of fights, they'd call Floyd a boring fighter because he's a counter striker.
Right.
So even if your game plan is you usually want to go after guys, with Floyd you didn't want to, because if you keep doing that, he's just going to punish
his counter. Exactly.
Get boring fights.
Right.
But yeah, Kamaru fights the way he's supposed to, and I think for a wrestling based fighter, he's real active. Like even when he gets you in his arms, he's still very active and he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's smart strategy to me. I mean, he's not Conor McGregor. He's not as exciting as those guys, but
nobody is.
Yeah, nobody is.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Staying on UFC, can I share my screen with you real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of my favorite fighters.
Yes.
Let's see here real quick. Share screen. Oh, you got to enable me again, Joe.
Oh, there it is.
Because you're the true host of the show. I'm a host now.
True host.
Did you? Well, through Zoom standards, because only one people. Let
me know if you can see my screen here. Can you see
we're
that?
on.
So this is what Thug Rose, as we call her face looked like after the fight. Now this girl is gorgeous, even with the shaved head. She may even be somehow hotter with the shaved head than she was with hair.
She is beautiful. I can tell.
Yeah.
But that eye got destroyed.
It looks like it's broke. It looks like this could have.
I'm pretty sure her nose is broken.
And her nose is broke.
Yes.
Her nose is broken. But she came out with a W over the girl that took the title from her. And I think she's going to go back and win the title. But that's what she looked like after the fight. And she was smiling.
The funny thing is she doesn't look like she won the fight. But she won the fight.
I was just about to say, that's what a win looks like?
Yes.
Sometimes that's what a win looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, like she don't look like she won the fight at all. But she won the fight. So
good for her, man.